This is a general warning, especially for those who actually do the witch hunting and whatnot. If you support or against those mentioned in this video, anybody, please do not go witch hunting after them or anyone who disagrees with you, me or them, no matter the reason. If someone is getting harassed or threatened, do not antagonize back. Yes, you all have voices, but what you say and do and how you say and do things matter. It applies to all of us, in fact. Also, if you try to slander me or anyone speaking against the harassment by lying that we're the ones doing your dirt, like you're some innocent Giga Chad, don't do it. No one's gonna put you in the Hall of Fame for that. And don't freaking take a shit in my lane. Cry, Muskin adversary did it, then fly off like some robotic pigeon, hide, and watch some poor manipulated soul go beast mode and say, "Where's my Uncle Ben? What'd you do to my Uncle Ben?" On me, while you take a potato chip and eat it like light freaking Yagami from Death Note. Too many folks try pulling that on me and others, and it's honestly pathetic. Some heroes you are. Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut up, Light. Yeah, I brought these from Google, but yeah. Anywho, moving along. Now, the thing is, I was never into the whole stuff with people calling folks a Zionist and whatever. I did not want to get into the whole, the sides and whatnot because, first of all, I'm not very knowledgeable about it. I know some things about it, I'm just not very knowledgeable. Second of all, I'm not the type of person to make a video about every single thing I see. No. Third, this reminds me of how people have gone after a friend of mine, Ruth, or as you know her internationally, Ruth with an H, aka Sonic93. Oh, she's a Muslim. The current Theo behind Robotnik / Eggman is a Zionist. Seriously, if you haven't learned from your actions, then you are so not ready to go. And people both blindly and wrongfully called Shantae's mainstream VO a Zionist while sending her threats. Regardless, people fail to know the true definition of a Muslim and a Zionist to this day, especially due to propaganda. Stop attacking people over their beliefs. Hypothetically speaking, if someone happens to be a legit heartless asshole, then that person, not their religion, is what makes them a heartless asshole. For example, if I happen to go after somebody for their Lucky Charms and steal it, if I go after an old man and I say, "Yo, you're too old to eat Lucky Charms," and that's his only breakfast for the day, he's like, "You stole my Lucky Charms." It's not going to be because I'm an atheist. It's not going to be because I'm Christian or agnostic or Buddhist or whatever. It's not even going to be because I'm a transgender or gay or straight, lesbian or whatever. It's just me being a straight up jerk. Stop throwing these things around and saying, "Oh, it's because you're a girl, it's because you're a man." No, it's because, hypothetically speaking, I'm a jerk that I did something like that to somebody. Seriously, stop attacking people over their sex or gender or their religion or beliefs. Stop. Another thing, too, speaking of, I'm going to be mentioning some about Imane Khelif, a victim of people who went after her, claiming that she is a male, calling her a man, harassing her, insulting her, and offending her family. She is a woman. You have never seen a woman with muscles before. You've never seen a woman with a small chest before. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, but if you're using it as an excuse, then you're stupid. And another thing is to please fact check. Even if it happens to be inaccurate in one way or another, then you look to see, you look to make sure before you get your facts straight. Because a lot of you don't like to fact check, and you just want people to believe what you say because you want people to agree with you versus those you resent. Now, moving on. Oh my God, what the okay. That was a fail on my behalf. Do you not realize that the more you overly and dismissively tell people to ignore certain problems, concerns, or individuals, the more they are likely to neglect those who also cry for help? And in turn, the more you do not help diffuse many conflicts where problematic individuals we do ignore, the more those people causing problems will ignore any form of reasoning. And also, us overly telling people to ignore things is just going to lead to more and more people ignoring serious issues instead of investigating them. It's a trend on its own. The bigger question is, when do we truly ignore? When do we step in? What we see is not always going to be what the other person sees. And this is my point with the whole Sonic93 situation, especially the Vic Mignogna and Montreal stuff. A lot of you deliberately ignore it when you're the same people who jump in. You see people getting hurt, but you're so selective of who you hate that you don't care about people who are actually crying for help, but then you try to dunk it on us and you do nothing to defuse the situation. Shut up and stop being a bunch of Oompa Loompa or Boopa Loompas running around for your chocolate. Ignoring things isn't always going to teach us or others how to resolve issues and or misunderstandings. Sometimes a person gets lost, angry, aggressive, hopeless, stuck, and even suicidal because, but not limited to, but still because, part of it, they do not understand something. Another thing to note is that these people who have constantly complained to us about those they resent and beat up on, whether their targets are blameless or blameful, the people who actually enjoy engaging in that mess do not really think about what they're saying or even try to grasp much of what they see and hear. They are also quick to dismiss you, turn your words around, whine that you disagree with them, and contradict themselves. Because these same people, they are looking for a special reaction from you, and they want to use that as their trophy against you. But when they see that you are roasting them, that's when they get pissed. Yeah, that's pathetic on them. Also, running around calling someone a Zionist, regardless of whether they are or aren't, you either care and want something legally done about it, or you want pitchforks and torches for your own amusement. Or you may simply want a fact check. I've seen at least 2 or more voice actors called Zionists. While one of them was literally cleared, as in Cristina Vee herself never was one to begin with, but was nonetheless still attacked by heartless idiots who acted rather dumbfounded when they realized she was not a Zionist. Mike Pollock, I don't know whether he is or isn't. I've seen his tweets. Oh, if you've seen his tweets, then you know he's. Shut up. That's not what a Zionist is. Jeez, I've seen things that rub me off the wrong way with what he does and how he handles things, but I neither engage nor do I find it appropriate to attack him when you should take professional and legal action if he truly is a bad person. I have mixed feelings about Mike, but I am not his judge, jury, and executioner. I am not Ghostwriter or Johnny Blaze in any shape or form. The thing is, a Zionist is not someone who believes in genocide. That's not the definition of a Zionist. Look it up, or pay attention to what I read in my video. If you're somebody who bails out of my video just to go along and say, "Oh, he supports Zionism," or "He's against it," he wants to attack people, don't you dare lie. Don't lie. You're an idiot. You're a robot. You're stupid, and you don't care about anybody else's safety until you go, "Woe is me!" And that's why chain reactions exist. You cause it. Whether Mike has serious issues or not, no one should be attacking anyone, whether they are his white knights or those opposing him. And a lot of people who run around with the Zionist mess, yeah, many of them don't know what it really means. If Mike Pollock happens to be an Omega level asshole, that is not the same thing. Yes, I know he's Jewish. A Jew is not automatically a Zionist, because then you'd be calling one or more friends I have Zionists just for being Jewish. Bottom line, Stop making excuses to attack, slander, and go after someone, even if they're in the wrong. That also applies to one or more people. I'm not going to say their names, but you, even if you've been attacked by a white knight of Mike Pollock, don't go around gloating about it. It's not funny. You could get hurt even more. They could get hurt. Don't respond anymore. I'm serious. So even if Mike were a Zionist, shouting it over and over and over again, then enabling people to jump in and antagonize over him, then cause fights with toxic white knights who attack you, others, solves nothing. Mr. Adversary is either a Zionist or he's just shut up with your unoriginal gaslighting slanderous bullshit. You automated, hive-minded lunatics. You know I am neither. I am neither a Zionist hater nor any kind of hater, which is why your jumping in solves literally nothing but gets people hurt. You're afraid to take responsibility, and that is beyond sad, because I support Palestinians and Israelis as human beings. I care about humans. Generally speaking, I care about human beings because I don't like it when anyone gets hurt. I do not like violence. Yes, I can protect myself. It doesn't mean I don't it doesn't mean that I don't go against violence, so don't get the wrong idea. You think I'm weak. I am not weak. And even if somebody was weak, you do not take advantage of someone. You actually help them. You stand for them. You people are so annoying. You know who you are. This world is being affected because of your stupid nonsense, your stupid judgment. And a lot of people out there in the political world, they do the same thing that you do. They ego boast, yet they hide behind folks that support them, because without those supporters, they see themselves as nothing. And that's concerning. I don't need a whole bunch of people or an army to back me up against a whole bunch of folks, who don't agree with me. I don't. Compared to you people who go and attack Cristina Vee, or actually who did in the past, who still go and try to attack Sonic93. I don't need a whole army. I don't. My point is, you are a coward. Even if you have 1 million subscribers and you feel the need to talk about every single person you resent. Moving along. Innocent people, including voice actors, fall victim to poor judgment, mislabels, and harassment or threats over situations many blindly engage over. As a fan of Cristina Vee and her roles such as Ladybug and Shantae, you'd be upset if I did exactly the same thing to any of your favorite voice actors. No, I wouldn't do it. I'm just making a point. So how does running around and crying wolf bring peace? Even if you are right about someone, your motives and actions can still badly influence and hurt others. I'm going to read about Mike after I talk about Cristina Vee. So I snipped this on Google. One person says, Cristina Vee, who played as Marinette Dupain Cheng, aka Ladybug from Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, deleted her account after targeted harassment or threats. Didn't people learn their lesson after what happened with Erica Lindbeck? Guess not. And I know that Erica Lindbeck's situation is separate, even though it's still similar, because she is also a victim of harassment. If you look her up, you may find what happened. And the thing is, with people attacking voice actors, it's so common. With people attacking devs, it doesn't solve anything. Seriously, stop. You wouldn't want to get threatened. Why is it okay for you to threaten other people? Because, no, shut up. So we go to somebody who is apologizing over the Cristina Vee situation, whereas another person is calling them out because this doesn't even seem like a sincere apology, especially, not even to me. So this person says, update, Cristina Vee is officially removed from the list as she participated in Strike Week and has heavily shown her support Palestine. Okay, you removed her because she's shown heavy support for Palestine, but you didn't think to fact check and see whether or not she was neutral. You felt the need to make a list and spy on her. I mean, people are human. People have emotions. If they feel for one side and they feel for another, they may be confused on the conflict, they may not be, but you sure as hell didn't know a damn thing about. Don't even come after me, bro or sis. You don't know enough to even tell someone, hey, stay out of it. We don't want people getting attacked over this. No, instead you make a list, a freaking list for her to get harassed. I know this was last year, but still, it's ongoing for many. Then you go, I deeply apologize for the mistake I have made, and I wish that I could have known sooner. You wish? No, you should be wishing that you never even got into this kind of shit. Because this person had a right to call you out, especially when they say Cristina received harassment and death threats over your massive up and or blow up, I guess. Oh, massive fuck up. And all you can say is, I'm sorry. Nah, fuck you. You put an innocent woman through hell. This apology does shit, all honesty. You know, anybody who is making lists and going on witch hunts, seriously, screw you. You are part of the reason why people get hurt. You shut up. I'm not getting anyone hurt. Well, no, you won't. You will not try to slander me and make it look like that, because then you're using people and you're lying to them. And then you are going to have me clean up after your mess because you're afraid to change your own diaper. Shut up. Stop treating people like that. This is Cristina Vee's message. It's not the full thing, but I am really sick and tired of it. All especially because someone decided to call her a Zionist, and not just one person, many people who don't even know what Zionist or Zionism is. Cristina Vee herself says, hey everybody, I really appreciate the people who researched the false rumors and misinformation that was going around, and I think the original posters were retracting. However, reading posts telling me I should K-word myself, I'm a horrible person, etc., took a toll, and I've decided that it's time to permanently delete Twitter for my own mental health. I'm still happy to connect with everyone over on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for all the fun and memes over the years. Love you all and wish you the best. Please don't go after people who made posts. Everybody is feeling helpless and is trying to do what they feel is right. It's a tough time right now. Let's not spread any more negativity, please. Do you hear the sincerity in her voice? It is there. Even though I'm reading it, I can imagine how she's saying it. She's sincere. Even though there's no sound, I'm reading her text. A lot of people have a way of speaking in their text that, you can imagine how they sound in person because they're sincere, even though it's text. But my point is, this is Cristina Vee. I've heard great things about her. And the thing is, you're going to be crushing people who actually look up to her, all because you call her a Zionist or whatever beef you claim to have with her. And when it comes to Mike, a Zionist is not what many people project one to be. Claiming they believe in genocide doesn't define one as a Zionist, even if they happen to be Jewish. No, that person who believes in poor treatment of others while wishing harm upon them is simply a monster. I am not going to call Mike Pollock a monster. I don't know enough about him to say such. The thing is, I've seen things on X/Twitter. I've seen things I don't like. But again, I am not his judge, jury, and executioner. I don't agree with Mike Pollock on things, but at the same time, you should not be attacking him. He should not be enabling, but at the same time, you should not be enabling harm on him. Mike Pollock does not support genocide on another group of people. If you say he's a bad Robotnik or Eggman, if you say he's an asshole, that is not synonymous with what you even wrongfully call Zionism. Look up what it means. Another thing is too, people have said that he, and I quote, he has said that in regards to, I think, Palestinians getting hurt, that is collateral damage. It may offend you, it may offend other people, but get this straight. Saying that someone is collateral damage does not mean they support genocide. No, it doesn't. It may offend you because it's like, oh, you're being an apologist. You're being an apologist and making up excuses. If that's why you got mad, I have nothing to do with that. It could very well offend me if someone said that and I see people getting hurt. It's like, you're just being an apologist and you're not even fighting for both sides. You're not trying to, have us stand together and try to diffuse the conflict. But what I'm saying is, people find one thing wrong about somebody and then they try to throw the whole weight of fault on them. You don't do that. That is not Zionism. Anywho, before I get to Imane Khelif, are all Jews Zionists? I'm reading this from annefrank.org. Zionism is about the pursuit of an independent Jewish state. The word is derived from Zion, a hill near the city of Jerusalem, but nowhere near all Jews live in Israel, and not all inhabitants of Israel are Jewish. The birth of the state of Israel. For centuries, Jews have lived all over the world. More than 100 countries have a Jewish minority. 2 countries have a large Jewish community. Israel and the United States, both around 6 million people, but out of a population of more than 300 million. The 6 million Jews in the United States are but a small minority. In Israel, on the other hand, almost 80% of the population is Jewish. The State of Israel was founded after the Second World War in 1948 in the Middle East, in a place where Jews had lived for thousands of years with their Arab neighbors. Because of their history and religion, Jews had felt a strong connection with this region for generations. Many European Jews who had survived the Holocaust went to live in Israel after the war. Many Jews from Arab or Muslim countries also fled or migrated to Israel. The United States, the United Nations, endorsed the partition of the area controlled by the British, then known as Palestine, into Jewish and Arab sections. I'm going to take off my glasses. In doing so, they facilitated the creation of a new state of Israel and a Palestinian state. However, there was significant resistance among the Arab population in the area designated to become Israel. Immediately after the declaration of the State of Israel in 1948, 5 neighboring Arab countries declared war on Israel. Israel won that war. Many Arab residents of the region fled the country, and many others were driven from their homes. Palestinians refer to this event as the Nakba, Arabic for disaster or catastrophe. The state of Israel's history, spanning more than 70 years, is marked by conflicts with its Arab neighbors and the Palestinians who view Israel as the occupier. There is substantial criticism of Israel's occupation of territories that, according to the United Nations partition plan, were allocated to the Palestinians and of the construction of settlements in these territories. Moving along, come on. The difference between Zionists, Jews, and Israelis. And if I pronounce Zion wrong, I do apologize. I mean, it's, we're not perfect, but still, nonetheless. Back to the question. So, a Zionist is someone who advocates for an independent Jewish state where Jews can live in safety. To many religious Jews, Israel is the promised land. But many non-religious Jews, too, value the fact that there is a country where Jews can live in freedom and safety. Nowadays, the word Zionist is often used as a swear word, as a negative label. Many Palestinians and supporters of the Palestinian cause no longer distinguish between the words Jew, Israeli, and Zionist. That is not correct. Most Jews do not live in Israel. Not every inhabitant of Israel is Jewish. There are also many non-Jews living in Israel, and not all Jewish Israelis are settlers who want to conquer more and more Palestinian land. The vast majority of Jews believe that the state of Israel should continue to exist, but many Jews, both living in Israel and elsewhere, are in favor of a Palestinian state alongside Israel as a possible solution to the conflict. To cut a long story short, although many Jews identify with Zionism, there are still many different points of view. That is reason enough not to mix up the words Jew, Israelis, and Zionists. Now, the thing is, I'm not a Palestinian. I'm not Jewish. Again, I care about everybody. No matter if you're LGBTQ, Jewish, Zionist, or even Palestinian, Muslim, I care about you as human beings. I do not like conflict. The thing is, you people will probably say, oh, well, you support Zionists. I don't support whatever immoral actions happen. I'm saying I support everybody as human beings. Get it through your thick head with what I'm actually saying. Stop ignoring the context of what we say because you want to weaponize. You went after my friend Root. You went after other people because of their religion just to weaponize, and you don't care that you're actually attacking everybody. You sent death threats to her. You sent death threats to Cristina Vee. I don't know if you sent death threats to Mike, but either way, what Mike does is not something you have to tolerate either. But the way you approach people, the way you handle it, it matters. So if Mike is doing something wrong, don't antagonize back. Don't. If you see Mike doing something wrong, you're an enabler. If you see someone doing something wrong to Mike, you're an enabler. If you don't say anything and you see it and you enjoy it, that is. Now, go on to Imane Khelif. Because too many of this mess has distracted us from the bigger picture. You know, you folks coming up with, oh, what was me? I don't like much cannabis. I don't like this person. You do not have to make videos on people you simply don't like or you choose to not like because it tears us away from conflicts such as folks like Imane Khelif getting attacked over her gender. How do you feel about that? I'm not going to read the whole thing out loud because there might be some sensitive stuff in it, but I will show it in here. And if anyone wants to read it, just look up, just do your research. And don't be selective with your research. If you have to look at both sides with people saying, oh, she's a man, and versus people saying she's a woman. Look up both sides. Look up both perspectives. Imane Khelif's childhood in Algeria, where her father defends her right to the box. As she grew up, the woman at the heart of the Olympic boxing gender role was told by a conservative society that she could not be a boxer because she was female. Now, I'm going to pause you right there. And I mean the people who are listening. Not every conservative is for this. Not every Democrat is the same. Not every Republican or Democrat agrees with one another. So the thing is, please do not get the wrong idea about this article especially. They're not like calling out every single conservative over, misgendering a woman, because the thing is, politics sucks. For someone who plays sports especially, to have to go through this, her childhood being quote-unquote retconned by a bunch of sexist people, thinking that women are not allowed to be strong, it's a nightmare. At least I would imagine it if I was in her shoes. She is very brave. Imane is a very brave woman and a very brave human being. There are a lot of trans people out there who will probably look at this and say, why are they calling her a man? She's a cisgender woman. Because we are not all the same. People in the LGBTQ community, they're not the same. We cisgender people, we're not the same. But what we have in common is that we are all human beings. So why are you dictating who we are and what we are, all because you want power and you're too afraid to change your own diapers and stop bullying people? You've never seen a strong woman before? If you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or any type of anime, you've seen strong women. You've seen Jolene. Oh, but she's not. I don't care. There are women who don't have large bust size. They have small chest size, and you call them men by default, all because they look like a man to you. Also, by the way, you see right here where she's clearly a girl. She's a young woman right here. She's been a woman. Leave her alone. You're not saving the world by harassing somebody. Do you ever think about your actions and how they don't contribute to something good when you do this stuff? Or you just sit there and bark, 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 and then eat your Domino's pizza and act like nothing happened? That's what a lot of people did when they try to come at me. They act like nothing happened because they're afraid. It's pathetic. Again, this information may be, pretty sensitive to the point where I can show it, but because I don't want people thinking that I'm against certain folks like head on and stuff. No, I care about everybody, even though I strongly disagree with folks at the same time. But you folks out there will sit there and weaponize to your heart's content, and then you will run and pretend you did nothing wrong. Again, it's pathetic. The thing is, you don't know what it's like to be in her shoes. You don't know what it's like to be in Root/Sonic93's shoes, or even on Cristina Vee's. I don't know what it's like to be in Mike Pollock's shoes, even though I don't like certain things about him. I don't hate him. But I don't know his life. I don't know what type of person he is in real life, even though what I've seen on the internet is not cool. It really isn't. So I can say that. But it gives me no right, hypothetically speaking, to attack Mike Pollock. I'm not attacking him with this video, so don't change my words around. No matter how much you want to, don't do it. Because you'll be pissing us off. And you'll be asking, what did I do? You know what you did. Do you even care that women go through so much? I'm not saying men don't. Men do go through things. But women, they have been treated so horribly by these accusations, by different ones. They've been RAPED. There are men who are RAPED too. There are, yes. But look at what it's doing. This kind of behavior also pits many men against women. It really does. Some people lose hope. Men and women lose hope over stuff. And yes, there are a lot of us men and women who still have respect for each other. Yes, that we still cherish one another. But the thing is, those who are gullible enough to believe the propaganda and the lies and all that, it weaponizes us. Is a woman not supposed to be strong? All because men are supposed to be strong. Is that what you're saying? You sexists out there, you people who hate LGBTQ and go against anybody or anything you don't like, what is it that you want from people? You want us to live in your matrix because you're a bunch of angry Mr. Smiths who can't afford to expose your own pathetic ego. Again, you can see for yourselves. Do research. You can even look up the people who claim that she's not a woman because perspectives, but she is a woman. She was always a woman. You don't know how heartbreaking it is for a family to have to worry about the safety of someone who's being slandered, all because you want a punching bag. You want a human punching bag. And then you don't want to show your face and say, hi, Mr. Khelif, I'm the one who said that she's a man. You can't even face him and say it because you're afraid. And you want us to be afraid. You want them to be afraid. How does it make you feel, huh? For you to bully people and go on a witch hunt and then say, oh, they're on a witch hunt because you're in the office. You have people listening to you, even when you said enough contradictory stuff. You have people following you like a cult. Well, guess what? You people who hide in the office or wherever and do this shit to anybody, you are forever going to be hiding until you overcome your own bullshit and own up. We are not your chess pieces. We are not your tools or puppets. And to any rando who comes after me, it applies to you too. You're not a tool. Don't live that way, but also don't treat us as such, because you'll be hiding, right behind us for the rest of your lives, especially since this woman, out of many, has gone through so much, yet you're not saving lives. You're not even trying to. You're trying to distract, and then you're scared and worried when you're doing this stuff because you don't speak against it. But you have that strong voice to say whatever the hell you want about me, to talk about people you simply don't like, and then you write this now. Oh, I'm gonna write to Dear Abby to say that Muskin adversary, he sucks. He sucks at talking. He sounds like an angry Vegeta. And dude, shut up and try to help people who are calling for help. Stop focusing on me. Stop wasting your brain cells on different people that you don't like for stupid reasons, especially, and actually help people. Because the thing is, again, you don't know what it's like to be Imane Khelif. You don't know what it's like to be her dad or anybody in her family. They may not know what it's like to be you, but the thing is, that's not for you to gaslight them over. People like to learn. They like to bond with others. You are preventing us from connecting when you spread hate and attack Imane and her family and anybody going through what she goes through. It's just stupid. You say you want peace, yet you are shedding hate all over her and everyone else, all because of your bias. So, one thing I will say this for people, if you're a Mega Man fan, you probably definitely heard this before. What are we fighting for? This one character named Zero has said that in Mega Man X4 to a character named Iris. What are we fighting for? True question. Oh, we're fighting for our land. Shut up. If you're that type of person who's like, we're fighting for our land because the Democrats or the Republicans stole it and everything, and they need to shut up, and there shouldn't be any Republicans or Democrats left alive. If you're saying something like that, shut up. This isn't about sides. If you're calling out a certain group of people and you're going by what they're doing, and you're not saying, oh, they need to back up because Democrats should only be here, you're like, well, if it wasn't for that group, we'd be coming together, and they need to stop. You're just giving honest criticism. Different story. I got you. But both sides, one way or another, seem at fault. Not everybody on both sides. I'm saying certain people, technically. Because even if you're a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, you're a human being. You can be in Canada and you're a human being. You can be anywhere. You're still a human being. Why is it so hard for you people out there who actually spread hate to understand that you are destroying love, basically? Anywho, do not attack Imane Khelif. Do not weaponize my words. Do not use my video to attack anybody, because I will not forgive you. Either way, these people do not deserve to be slandered. Whether or not they have been a jerk, you take appropriate action. And from where it stands, Cristina Vee and Root, they are not horrible people. But if you view Mike Pollock as a horrible person, maybe sit down, try to talk to him. If he's literally out of line, you take appropriate action. Don't gloat and attack him. And this, again, if I haven't said already, this is not an attack on Mike. This is me trying to reason from a neutral stance. Anywho, I do want to say another thing too. Mike, I'm going to start with you. If you're doing things that's not really pleasant, aside from what I've seen, of course, please, I don't control you, but I ask that you dial it back with your posts. Please be respectful to people. Please do not repeat certain things. I don't hate you. I've been a fan of yours in terms of your Eggman, but at the same time, what I've seen, it's very rude. I'm not like for you or against you. I just want peace for everybody, especially for you. Please be mindful of people's emotions. And for those who attack him, stop and be mindful of his emotions. Now, when it comes down to Cristina Vee, I know this is late by far, but this is like an archetype of what we all go through, basically. I'm sorry that you had to deal with all that. And I'm sorry for your fans or anyone who had to, put up with folks who went on a witch hunt towards you and they don't bother to fact check what a Zionist is, especially. It really sucks. I don't know what it's like to be any of you. I don't even know what it's like to be Sonic93, my friend Root. I really don't. At least not on a perfect level. I have some idea, but it's not enough for me to say I understand everything. I will never understand every single thing. I can only imagine, even given what I've seen, what I witnessed, and what I'm being told. So, for you viewers out there, if you want peace, please speak because it's being destroyed one by one. And if you're jumping in and witch hunting and then slandering somebody, you're still destroying peace. Don't do that. Because another thing is, people can come after you. It has already happened with people who tried asking me for help. Some of those folks, compared to the others, they went back and did things behind my back and another person's back by pretending they did nothing wrong while threatening by sending death threats and whatnot. And then they come back and say, oh, this person did something to me. It's like, you're lying to us. You're making multiple accounts and lying to us. And then if we do something that you disagree with, that you simply disagree because you got your agenda, you sit there and say, we're the problem because you're afraid. Stop your lying and actually help people. Muskin Adversary out.